Hello all. We are going to go through the pages of the book and discuss about the one of the features that will be one of as one of your assignment. We assign that assignment to you, and in this chapter we are going to learn about rotating a text in a cell. We didn't discuss it while we were talking about in-class assignment. We are going to show you. Create a series of month names. Do you remember we typed January and then we before it was previous in previous sessions, and then automatically the computer, the Excel created the names of February, March, April for us, and we create how to copy paste cells and format numbers. Means you can change numbers to bold, put dollar sign in front of them, make change, and enter format the system date. As you remember, we in previous example we put a date and absolute and mixed cell references in formulas. Yeah, and you learned about absolute cell reference, and we used if function, and we created a sparkline and a type of charts and format painter to format cells. We didn't use that one. Create cluster chart, and we filtered. Do you remember we said that we didn't want to see the salary of the employees? Change chart type and style. You remember we had those cluster charts, and then I clicked on the black color of the cluster chart and reorder sheet tabs. We will show you that. It means at the bottom sheet tabs we will talk about. While you are here, let me show you. This is for the students. For these are some tabs. If I drag this one and drag it this way to this side, therefore these tabs, as you see, they are moved. And also, just now I talked about rotating the cells. If I click on this January and I come here and I go to my home tab and I click on this alignment here, I want to change the alignment of this January. What I want to do, I want just to rotate it in a kind of, I think the book wants at 75 or maybe 90. I just put it at 75 and I click OK. And you see January how it rotated, and then I can drag it all the way through. And as you see, all of them rotated. Therefore, I forgot to mention this in my previous lecture. And we go to the rest of the discussion, and we go and assumption. Here you see assumptions. You remember I said I am assuming making $1,000 in January. These are projections for my farm business, for example. And we come to the next page, and hopefully it will show the page and doesn't take long for this to upload, which it is not, hopefully. And therefore, one of the assignments that we are going to assign you is the one that you see in a figure. Usually it is the first figure in a chapter. Browser doesn't support read. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and let me see if I can get rid of this screen. And if analysis, we already did the if analysis. And here is example. Mine was farm, and this is another example that you will be assigned to do. And you have seen this cluster chart, therefore we talked about it. And here is the formulas. Do you remember that I said your bonus is 0 if you make sell over 1100, you get this, and rental and all of those numbers. We go to the next one, and we see that in January, in my case, it was $1,000 in January, I think $1,200 in February. These are the numbers you have to enter. You remember my margin was 90%. This one is 81. The bonus is 5,000. Looks like this is a generous employer. I was giving you $50 bonus if you sold more than $1,100, and then your salary is 20%. In my case, it was 50%. And these numbers are, I may just simplify that way. You can focus on the concept of what we were trying to do. And I am going to scroll down here, and rotating cell in text we already showed you. And we go, and sometimes it takes a kind of little time to bring it next page, and then we go ahead, and here is we put January, and here is the rotating cells which I already showed you, and we go to the next page. And I will be this video will be in addition to in-class assignment, which the same thing I did with my name. You are going to do the same with your name for your farm and use the same numbers that I have used just to see how this assignment. Once you go through that lecture, this will be easy for you. This going through this assignment. And here is fill handle to create months. That means you type January and you drag it all the way through, and the name of February, March, April, will appear. And this concept is known as using series. You see the name series appear here. If you type 1, 2, 3 here, highlight them and drag it through, that's another series. Then it types 4, 5, 6, 7 for you. Therefore, we want you to know the concept of series. And then autofill, that means that automatically fills the cells for you. And also sometimes it fills with, suppose it fills formatting, it fills other areas. And there is a button I haven't shown you, and hopefully we will have time for this one. These are the series. Suppose if you put 4 and then you put these zeros, highlight it and drag it all the way through, you will see the series will type these numbers automatically for you. Excel understands any of these. Suppose if you type MON and drag it all the way through, Excel will type automatically Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. These are different types of series that Excel will do. And if I scroll down, you are familiar with this screen. We already went through this screen. And we go to the next page, and you type all of this, and the book wants you to copy and paste. I haven't shown you how to copy and paste. It's not a bad idea. I show you right now. I come here, for example. Do you see here is written salary, marketing, miscellaneous? If it is typed in here, the question is that why should I again type this in here? All I have to do is highlight all 3 of these, and then I come here and click copy, or I right click, maybe copy. Okay, and do you see that as soon as I click copy in here, I click here, and then maybe when I click paste, and look at how many options for paste I have. Each one of them does a specific paste. I use the standard. Look at here how nicely it typed up, copied and pasted things in here. Therefore, that's copying and pasting cells into non-adjacent cells. Therefore, that's the way Excel will copy and paste. I click undo that way. It doesn't get any confusion. I click escape. And that's what we want you to know. I didn't show that while I was lecturing. We go here and here copying range of cells to a non-adjacent cell. And then we come here, and you already know about it. We go to the next page, and here, as it is trying to copy pages, another feature I forgot to show you is how to insert, for example, how to insert columns. If I want to insert a column here, I click on this B, I right click and click insert. As soon as I click insert, do you see a column is created? I click undo to get rid of this column. If I click a row, for example, here is 15. I click there, I right click in here and click insert. And do you see another row is created in here? That's the way you add and delete columns. And we go back in here and we continue using option drop and then menu. And then we go to the next section, and hopefully this will be quick. And we have gone almost through all areas, but there are some features that I didn't cover during the 2 other, and here is inserting columns and rows, and these are the things that sales revenue for bonus. You remember in my case, I said if you sell more than 1100, I give you bonus, and here is trying to format a cell. You know how to insert a column, and that is the way we just showed you. And delete column, you right click and click delete. And then these are the way that you can format things. And as you see, this one suppose says no comma. This one has 2 commas. When it has 2 commas, it means it shows pennies. You see that? This 60 cents. If I don't have a comma, maybe these pennies are not shown in there, depending on if you want the comma to be shown or not. We put these numbers in my case in my form, and you are typing this. We go to the next page, and here is the and I click again in here, and we want to make sure that we have covered everything. And I think here is trying to put the date. We already showed you this one. And we go to the next page, and I put now, but that's another way of absolute value versus relative. Do you remember we put the dollar signs, and those are all something that we discussed in terms of absolute value and relative value. Absolute value means absolutely look at that particular cell. Don't change cells to the cells below it. And here the book explains, tries to tell you what absolute value. And these are the formulas. We already put these formulas. Do you remember in my case said that I put B4 1000 times 1 minus B19. B19 in my case was 90%. When we said 100% minus 90%, it came to 10%, and B4 was 1000. 1000 times 10% came $100. That's what I told you to buy materials for the farm and those things. You already know about this. And then here we are doing the formulas again and putting cost of goods sold. In my case, I wrote purchase. Here in accounting, sometimes the things, materials you buy, I told you to go to buy equipment, seeds, or one thing. In my case, here they use, cost of goods sold and gross margin. And here, decision making if function. Sometimes there are two if functions, but for now, if the sale is greater than, if you sold greater than 1100, we want to give you $20 bonus. If not, we give you zero. That is an if function that you understood. And we come here. These are some, equal sign. If you sell equal to 1100, I could put a greater. If you sell greater or equal than 1100, then for the month of June you could get here. Do you see greater than? For the month of June you could get a bonus, because I didn't put this equal sign, but because I think in the month of June you sold only $1100 and you didn't get, because I only put a greater sign. If I had put this one, you would have got another $50 for your bonus, and that is the if function. And we go, and here is what we are trying to put if function, and we put the dollar signs just to get the absolute value number. And we go to the next, and we go, and these are the formulas that are being placed, and we already went through this. And we go to the next page, and hopefully we can cover the whole chapter with this lecture. And here is my income for the first month. I think was $100 for January. And then here it is trying to copy all the formulas for every month and use fill handle. And here is the next page. Hopefully it is not frozen, and looks like it is frozen. And what I do is that I publish this lecture, and after that we will continue for the rest of the chapter. And looks like the whole computer froze, and the browser doesn't support read aloud, which I don't care about that. And let me see if we can stop this lecture. And